Hey guys, and welcome back to Mike Reed's Katawa Shoujo. Last episode, we went to school. Let's go back to school. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They look quite different, and there's no music. Is that supposed to be? I don't have anything muted. Whatever. Excuse me. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. I'm sorry, I gotta check to see if the music isn't turned down. And it's not. No, it's not. Might just be a tiny spot. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who was beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. I guess this is this little chatter in the background is supposed to emphasize people. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! I don't think I like you. Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. Dots. I don't understand sign language, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite? Typically. Do you want to know something? Yeah, I'd like to know a lot of things. What? Absolutely anything. We're your guides, so you should ask if there's something. I wonder. Oh look, I get options again. I think I got everything I need to know. Ask about Shizune's deafness, or ask about the library. Well, I really don't know what to pick. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care about you. And why is this checked? Oh, I don't know. I was testing this earlier. I didn't really read anything and picked that. I just picked something. I think that's why it's checked. Well, I think I got everything I need to know. So I can't think of anything really. Oh, that means we've been good guides, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Dots. If you say so. Misha positively beams, and so does Shizune after a quick translation. I shake my head at their somewhat exaggerated enthusiasm and shift my focus on the food. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice a conversation in sign is not enough to fill the silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over in her desk, at the last row. I'm just gonna let this one go. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel the tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into some stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to the seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with the other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school seems strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's too long. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. I'm such a bad reader. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Dots. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Heek-chan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. Dots. I like her voice. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Oh, wait, the teacher said I have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can only show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. Is that Charlie Brown? There's like right here. I can't tell. There's something. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually a part of the main building. More dots. I think it's called, yeah, it's an ellipsis. Ellipse. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? More dots. Don't be silly, Heek-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. Yeah, it couldn't be for all the disabled kids and the fact that this was one of their selling points. I walk in, hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text, Head Nurse, and a nameplate. A voice from inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself in further. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hey, I like his hair. Take a quick drink real quick. Mouth's getting dry. Hello there. What can I do for you today? Oh, I like this little jazz beat going on. Let's just take a second to appreciate this. He is young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse, like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand that's in his pockets. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I already... What? His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Sasao Nakai. His eyes light up with the revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai! As opposed to the many, many, many Nakais that are around. I don't know how common a name that is. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? TVMA. Genital. I'm so fucking mature. He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone on my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Maybe he's just a nice guy. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at the school. And you'll get used to it. I'm not sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Yep, that's the Brian Regan enunciation. Epitome? Epitome. I like epitome better. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's staff. Office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So, you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? Yeah, I'm a boxer. He grins at his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of a burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks, or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, and I'm sure you've been told this before, you just need to take care of not overexerting yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Alright, okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes, they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out from the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on me on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick, like the others. It feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given for my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators and at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the room adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Hey, an actual male character we can talk to. A bespectable boy is standing in the doorway. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick glasses. "Who is it?" says the bespectacled hallmate. I'm gonna get this word. Bespectacled, glasses hallmate. Blind. No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce myself. His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. "Oh, sup, dude? The name's Kenji." "Ah, hi." I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. "There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents." "Your parents? You sure? Because it could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover." His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. "You're a brave man, Hisao." "Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself." "Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either?" He thinks about this for a while. "A wise decision." "Damn, you are smarter than you look." "Probably." "Ha, it's because he's blind." "What do you look like? Hope not smart." He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. "Never mind, it doesn't matter." With that, he turns and fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is still open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging in there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. "Hi, Hik-chan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad." Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kinda hoped I would have. Then there would be something to do. It's still too early. Put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. I'm gonna call it an episode for right now. Thank you again for watching, and, have a good day.